Okay, I've got the live stream going. We'll be started at 10 a.m. this morning for those joining. As the weeks go on, I find that I am constantly adjusting my yoga space, making little improvements to my personal practice area. I hope we're all finding that for ourselves as our time goes on with our practice and our space. Mm, mm, yeah. As the weeks go on, the space becomes more comfortable. I find that I know how to adjust it for myself and my practice, and hopefully yours has come along as well. So welcome to another live session. Little fun with inversions today. We're going to be working on poses that place your heart above your head, where your head comes closer to the ground, closer to the floor than your heart. Some things to consider with inversions. Well, high blood pressure. That's definitely something to consider. If you're a late stage pregnancy, it's something to consider as well. Whenever you place your head below your heart, you're changing perspective, you're changing the way your blood's flowing in your body. And depending on the pose, you might even be creating some compaction, some extra space that we've created in yoga maybe goes away in your spine and in your neck, for example, in a headstand or a tripod. But not all inversions are these flying poses or these balancing acts on your head like some sort of circus animal. In fact, some inversions are ones you practice probably in every yoga session you attend, like child's pose. In child's pose, your head comes below your heart as you melt to the ground. Same thing with a forward fold, standing forward fold. Um, Even downward facing dog is an inversion. So we take these moments to gain new perspective, to change how our body feels, to step out of our comfort zone, but also to find strength and have a little fun, right? It's always about having a little fun, getting to know yourself and building that strength. So today, just to get a bit of centered feeling before we begin, we'll begin in an easy seat. We'll start with some breath work, just very easy grounding, coming in contact with your body and with yourself, and remembering to have compassion through every pose, knowing where you should take yourself, where you can take yourself, and what journey may lay ahead of you yet on a different day. So, sitting tall, stacking your vertebrae above your hips, stitching your rib cage together, but letting your heart shine proud, your shoulders dropping away from your ears, maybe inhaling, shrugging them up, and exhaling, letting them roll down. Finding your hands placed either palms up or palms down on your thighs. Typically, it's said palms up invites the energy of the universe, palms down supports grounding. So, wherever you're at today, whatever you need, a little boost or maybe a little grounding. Take a nice deep breath. Exhale, sigh it out. And begin to deepen your inhales and your exhales. Inhaling through your nose, exhaling through your mouth. Letting the cycles of breath fill you, roll through you, and then exhale. Inhaling to the count of 1, 2, 3, 4, Exhaling to the count of 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Inhale deeply. Slowly count it out for yourself. 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe even a little longer. 5. Sip it at 6. And then exhale slower, even slower, letting it out. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Extending your inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Longer exhale. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take a deep breath. Exhale, sigh it out. Begin your ujjayi breath, sealing your lips, finding a rhythm in through your nose and out through your nose, finding a sense of center and peace for just a moment before practice begins. Blinking your eyes open, if they're not already. Coming into contact with your lower body, giving yourself some circles, bringing your chest forward, your heart through your arms, and then sending it back, scooping in your body, rolling into these circles, loosening up your spine, loosening up your hips, giving yourself some compassion, maybe swaying one way and then another. And whenever you're ready, finding your sense of stillness. Breathing tall, sitting tall, and exhale, letting it melt away. Coming into a child's pose, our first pose and our first inversion. Spread your knees out as wide as your mat. Bring your toes together to touch. Sitting your hips, your glutes back to your heels. Inhale, sit up nice and tall like a hero's pose. Extending the crown of your head, your vertebrae to the ceiling or the sky. And then as you exhale, walking your hands out, melting forward, chest first, sending that heart to the floor, but then your head, your third eye, coming in contact with your mat, coming lower than your heart, meeting with your practice space, and perhaps rolling your third eye on your mat, giving yourself a gentle massage of your forehead. Inhale, fill up. Exhale, sigh it out. Inhale, seal your lips. Exhale through your nose. Find your rhythm of breath. Extending your in and exhalations. Keeping your lips sealed if you can. This beginning pose, this child's pose, is a new perspective for most of us as we meet our mats. It's different than what we experience in our daily lives, and of course, it calls back to something perhaps simpler, more innocent. Back when we maybe were more grounded, or when the universe did provide us with so much more energy. So tap into that feeling in your mat today, that sense of new energy, new perspective. Inhale, fill up. Exhale, sigh it out. Inhale, slowly rising up, planting your hands beneath your shoulders, and then stepping back with your feet for a high plank. Holding this pose for just a moment, finding strength in this very simple yet very powerful pose, the four-limb staff. Spreading your fingers out wide, pushing the mat away, catting your back just a little bit, extending power through the crown of your head, all the way down, firing out your heels. A nice flat line. Inhale for strength. Exhale, push your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Maybe walking your hands out just one palm's length. Downward facing dog. It's your first down dog of the day. I always suggest a bit of a pedal, a bit of movement, finding that sense of yourself. Where are you today? Where are you in this moment? Spreading your fingers out, gripping the mat with all 10 fingers, your palms like suction cups, your toes, perhaps your heels lifted slightly, giving yourself some compassion for your hamstrings, for your low back. Maybe finding a micro bend in your elbows and knees. Prioritize the flatness of your back, the strength in the backside of your body over the lengthening of your legs. Eventually, they'll lengthen. Eventually, your heels will meet the mat. But that is not something you need to push. Inhale, fill up. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, gaze forward, bend your knees and elbows, and tiptoe ever so slowly until your hips raise above your head almost. Your feet come forward to meet your hands. Inhale, buoy up. Exhale, forward fold. First forward fold of the day. Similarly, have compassion for yourself. Allow for a bend in your knees. Melt your torso over your thighs. And then let the crown of your head hang towards the floor. Eventually, straightness will come to your legs. Eventually, your upper body and lower bodies will meet like a folded piece of paper. But today, in this moment, be where you are. The gentle fold with bent knees, the contact of thigh to torso, so good for you. Such a release for an overworked spine. Maybe side to side sways to help ease yourself into this. Stepping your feet about hips width distance apart if they aren't quite there already. Buoy up with an inhale and exhale, ragdoll. We're holding this inversion for a while, so be compassionate for yourself. If you feel dizzy, if you feel lightheaded, take a moment, take a break, sit in Hero's pose, sit in an easy seat. Regain your composure. If you are dizzy, you're also out of control. Perhaps gripping for opposite elbows, perhaps nodding your head, an affirmation, or shooing away those negative thoughts. When you're ready, releasing your arms, rolling up slowly, one vertebrae at a time. Compassion for the pressure, changing as your head comes up above your heart, hands to the sky, mountain pose. Take a moment in your mountain pose. Be here in your tallest perspective. Perhaps bringing your feet to touch, toes together, heels slightly apart. Finding that we do not flare out our tailbones, but we tuck them, extend them, lengthening them down, allowing our pelvis to tilt, our abs to be engaged, our ribs to stitch together. Inhaling your arms up. Exhale, roll your shoulders down from your ears, finding that line between your shoulder blades becoming so much finer. Rotating your pinkies in towards the midline of your body. And perhaps even gazing a little up. The perspective from the mountaintop is so different from the base. The perspective from the east, the west, the north, the south, giving you so much of a new understanding to the shape and the nature of things. Consider this in everything you do, the ability to take new perspective. Inhale, reach tall. Extend your spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift, hands coming to thighs, shins, or mat. but finding that extension from hips to the crown of your head, feeling your vertebrae lengthen, feeling the pencil pinch between your shoulder blades so fine. Inhale for strength. Exhale, fold. Inhale, high plank, step it back. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Keep your hips high, your elbows tucked to your ribs. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lovely. Holding your down dog for just one moment. Take 2 to 3 breaths. Adding on to our Sun A salutation. Coming to a dolphin's pose, rolling down to your forearms on either arm. Finding that your elbows are still together enough that your fingertips can reach side by side. Finding a flat back like in a downward facing dog, maybe allowing your heels to pop up just a little more in this more intense pose. Perhaps stepping in, bringing your feet closer to your arms, and still pushing back, maybe bending your legs slightly for those hamstrings. When you're ready, bringing yourself down to your knees, extending your arms out, palms to the top of your mat. Inhale, buoy up. Exhale, melt down, puppy pose. Hips remaining high, stacked above your knees. Arms in a child's pose-like position. Shoelaces of your feet planting into your mat. Just 2 breaths here in your puppy pose. Then folding your arms so that you rest on your elbows on either side of your head. Coming back down, your forehead to the mat in a puppy pose, but your hands planting together, your palms coming to meet behind your head, fingertips towards your glutes, finding extension in your triceps, extensions in your armpits, a stretch in your side body and lower arm, or should I say underarm. Perhaps wiggling it out a bit, finding your comfort here, finding the flex in each of your underarms. And when you're ready, releasing back to a standard puppy pose, arms extended overhead towards the front of your mat. Inhale, rising to your forearms, pushing back and up again to your dolphin pose. Holding for just a breath. Perhaps stepping your feet out just a bit before planting your hands and rolling back up to downward facing dog. It's quite an intense set of inversions here. Be compassionate for yourself. Take an easier inversion if necessary, a child's pose when it serves you. Inhale, bend your knees, bend your forearms, gaze forward, and tippy-toe yourself, forward fold. Inhale, slowly rise up for mountain pose all the way. Arms overhead. Exhale, baby back bend, cactusing out your arms, extending through your back, and then with your heart proud, gazing behind you towards the back of your ceiling, perhaps even the back corner of your wall. Inhaling, reaching up, extending, extending, extending. Exhaling, cactusing out your arms, proud chest, then back, baby back bend. Inhale, tall mountain. Exhale, forward fold, so slowly down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, high plank. Stepping back, holding for just a moment. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, fill up. Exhale, melt your forearms down, dolphin pose. Hold for just a moment. Inhale for strength. Exhale, lower your knees. Extend your arms, puppy pose. Inhale for strength. Exhale, plant your elbows. Send your fingertips towards your glutes, palms together behind your head for the underarm stretch. Hold for just a couple of breaths. Inhale, replacing your hands to the mat, extending your puppy pose. Exhale, melting just a little bit more. Inhaling, replacing your forearms, sending your hips back and up, dolphin pose. Hold for just a couple of breaths. And then inhale, planting your hands. Exhale, pushing back for downward facing dog. Inhale, gaze forward, bend your hands, bend your elbows, bend your knees, and tippy toe yourself to the top of your mat. Exhale, fold. Inhale, mountain, one vertebrae at a time. Slowly rising, arms overhead, planting your feet together. Exhale, baby back bend. Inhale, mountain. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, high plank, step back. Exhale, chaturanga, low plank, elbows staying close to ribs. Line of your body strong. Flip your toes, upward facing dog on your inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful work. Take one breath. Exhale, sigh it out. Inhale and exhale. Let it go long and extended. Inhale, bend your elbows, bend your knees, gaze forward. Exhale, step it through. Forward fold. Inhale, mountain, roll it all the way up. Hands overhead. Exhale, prayer. Take a moment to check in with yourself. There's a lot of inversions. Puppy, child's, dolphin, down dog, forward fold. All putting that extra pressure on your pulse. All asking that your head go below your heart. So check in with yourself, check in with your heart, maybe placing a hand over it. Do you feel dizzy? Do you feel centered? Questions you can only answer for yourself. Are you balanced? What do you need? Inhale, arms overhead, mountain. Exhale, prayer. Inhale, one-legged mountain, sending your right leg high, knee even with your hip, arms overhead, toe flexed towards your knee. Exhale, prayer hands. Hinge forward. Extending that exhale, sending your leg back, planting it at a 45-degree angle behind you. Inhale, warrior one. Sending your arms overhead, checking your stance. Conversation I always like to have about warrior one is it's so varied from practitioner to practitioner. Tucking your tailbone, allowing the tilt of your pelvis to draw your low spine down to create extension. Engaging your abdominals in everything we do. Checking your stance in your lower body. Are you grounded? Is your back foot at a 45-degree angle? Are your legs too tightly together for your hips, causing a strange flare one way to the other. Perhaps train tracking them a bit would help. Lean into your front leg as much as is comfortable, finding extension in a lunge, but not allowing your knee to go over your ankle. Guiding hips forward, but more importantly, ribs forward, extending your spine, reaching up, feeling as though everything is just drawn to the sky while all of yourself grounds down, creating extension from floor to ceiling. Reaching, reaching, reaching. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, drop your right arm to your right thigh. Gaze up, extend taller. Exhale, hold. Inhale, regular warrior one. Reach tall, exhale. Bind your hands behind your low back. Intertwining your fingers, bringing your palms together, preparing for a shoulder rinse and humble warrior. Inhale, make a proud chest, shine tall. Exhale, hinge forward, sending your torso down beside your thigh, your arms rinsing overhead, your feet almost as though they could tear your mat apart with their strength and grounding. Finding your gaze going back between your legs, the crown of your head drawn down. Take just 2 breaths here. Finding balance, challenging yourself in a standing inversion. When you're ready, inhale slowly, coming tall back to warrior one, unbinding your hands. Reaching high and exhale, bringing your left hand down to meet your right thigh, gazing slightly up, exalting your warrior. And then when you're ready, inhale back to warrior one. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Hinge forward, inhale, step your right foot up to meet your left. Exhale, squat down just a bit, inhale, mountain pose. Rise tall, arms overhead. Take a few breaths here, feel yourself taking up space, feel the pride of being at your tallest point and perspective. Inhale and exhale, hands to heart center. Checking in with yourself for just a second in 2 breaths. And then inhale, one-legged mountain, sending your left leg high, arms overhead, toes flexed towards your knee, knee even with your hip. Inhale for strength, exhale, hands through heart center, hinge forward and step it back to a 45-degree angle. Inhaling, warrior one. So check again on this side. The 2 sides of your body may behave very differently. They may have very different motives and intentions, or they may suffer equally or be victorious equally. But know yourself. Know what you need to do to make this pose serve you. Again, checking the even plane of your hips forward, your ribs forward, engaging abdominals, tracking that tailbone down, creating length in your spine. Checking the 45 degree of your foot, extending your lunge to wherever works for you. Then, arms overhead, warrior one. Inhaling, reach up. Exhale, dropping your left hand to meet your left thigh, gazing slightly up, exalting your warrior. Take just a breath, and then inhale, warrior one. Exhale, bringing your hands to meet at your low spine, tailbone area. Bring your palms together, preparing for your shoulder rinse. Inhale, proud chest. Exhale, hinge forward, humble warrior. Sending your arms overhead, the crown of your head to the ground. Your torso finding an even plane with your inner thigh if you can. ripping that mat apart with your feet, feeling as though the strength in your legs is unshakable. Taking just a few breaths in this inversion. And when you're ready, slowly drawing up, unbinding your hands. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale your right hand to your left thigh, gazing slightly up, exalting your warrior. Holding for a breath. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, hands through heart center, hinge forward, and step through, bringing your left to meet your right. Squatting down, exhale, inhale, mountain pose. Standing tall, coming to that proud perspective. Taking a few breaths, feeling your fingertips like laser beams now reaching towards the sky. So much power from floor through you, all the way to the sky. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands through heart center. Take a moment. How did that feel for your head, for your heart? Do it one more time. Inhale, one-legged mountain, sending your right leg high. Exhale, hands through heart center, hinge forward, step back 45 degrees. And inhale, warrior one. Exhale, right arm to right thigh, exalted warrior. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, hands behind your spine. Inhale, proud chest. Exhale, humble warrior. Take just a breath in this perspective, and then when you're ready, inhale, slowly rise. Warrior one. Exhale, left arm to meet right thigh, exalted warrior. Taking a breath, and then inhale, warrior one. Exhale, hands through heart center, hinge forward, step through, right foot to meet your left, planting it so slowly, slow, gently, squatting down. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, hands through heart center. One more time, one more side. Inhale, one-legged mountain, sending your left leg high. Exhale, hands through heart center, hinge forward, step back, 45-degree plant. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, left hand to left thigh, exalted warrior. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, bind your hands behind your slow spine. Inhale, proud chest. Exhale, humble warrior. Hold for just a breath. And when you're ready, slowly rise. Warrior one, inhale. Exhale your right hand to meet your left thigh, exalted warrior. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, hands through heart center, hinge forward, step your left foot to meet your right. Squat down, exhale, inhale, mountain pose. Hands overhead. Exhale, prayer. Take just a breath. Check in with yourself. I say to do it often. You should do it moment to moment, move to move. How are you? Are you in a moving meditation? Has your mind wandered? Or are you still worried about things outside of this mat? Let's do some more inverting, and let's do a little more changing of that perspective, a little more clearing of our mental space. Inhale, arms overhead, mountain. Exhale, hands through heart center. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, high plank, plant your hands, step back. Chaturanga of your choice. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful work. Inhale, lift your right leg high. Exhale, bring your knee to your nose, catting out your spine, sending some space underneath you for that leg to meet. And then inhale, high. Exhale, hold. Inhale, high. And exhale, step it through, planting your foot, pivoting your back foot parallel to the back end of your mat, and then rising up for warrior two. Windmilling up your arms or finding a blossom that works for you. Extending your stance, finding that lunge. Taking the leg as close to a 90-degree angle as you are comfortable with, not allowing your knee to track over your ankle. Centering yourself, your torso, above your hips, not hinging forward or fearfully scanning back, but finding that perfect center. Your ribs still towards the side rim, your arms with so much power reaching in either direction. Inhale, straighten your front leg, flip your palm. Exhale, reverse triangle, sending your reach back and over. Your arm binding around your hips or coming to rest on your back thigh while your right arm reaches high. With every inhale, reaching higher. With every exhale, maybe coming just slightly back. Inhale, reaching up, and exhaling. Regular triangle, hinge forward, tick-tock your arms to 6 and 12. Creating yourself almost as a single pane of glass, stacking hip over hip, shoulder over shoulder, becoming a fine line with all this plane of your body. Inhaling, coming up, rising all the way, re-engaging the bend in your front leg, warrior two. Taking just a breath here for a moment. And then when you're ready, inhale, exhale, chaturanga, cartwheel your arms down, planting them either side of your foot, stepping back, high plank. If you'd like a challenge, three-limbed chaturanga. Keep that leg lifted. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take just 2 to 3 breaths here in your downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your leg high. Exhale, knee to nose. Bring it in, create space below you. Inhale it high. Exhale, hold. Inhale high. Exhale, step it through. Planting your foot, pivoting your back leg so that foot is parallel to the back of your mat. And then inhale, warrior two. Once again, finding yourself centered over your hips, creating space in your lunge to your comfort, to your challenge level, and then gazing over powerful arms. Inhale, straighten your front leg, flip your palm. Exhale, reverse triangle, sending your arm back and high, your hand coming to your thigh or binding around yourself, wherever you are. With every inhale, reaching a little higher. With every exhale, reaching a little further back. When you're ready, inhaling and exhaling, triangle, hinging forward, tick-tocking your arms to 6 and 12, finding that plane of your body. With every inhale, finding a bit of extension, and with every exhale, twisting a bit more open. When you're ready, inhale, rising all the way back up, re-engaging the bend in your front leg, warrior two. Holding for just a breath. And then when you're ready, inhale for strength, exhale, chaturanga of your choice. If you would like to try for it on this side, extending your left leg long, keeping it lifted, three-limbed chaturanga. Upward facing dog, inhale. Downward facing dog. Exhale. Lovely. Okay, taking a few breaths in your downward facing dog. Adding on to that sequence. Inhale, lift your right leg high. Exhale, step it through. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, hold. Inhale, flip your palm, straighten your leg. Exhale, reverse triangle. Inhale, tall. Exhale, regular triangle. Hold for a breath. Inhale, warrior two. Hold on your exhale. Inhale, pivot your back foot, sending your toes to the corner of your mat. Exhale, bring your arms slightly down. Inhale, sending them up overhead, straightening your front leg. Exhale, bending into your back leg, Skandasana, coming onto the heel of your right foot, feeling so much power in your legs that you can buoy and bounce from this position, not straining your inner leg or sinking too deep, placing too much of your hip towards the mat, allowing for strength, allowing for focus and flexibility. Inhale all the way back, warrior two. One more try. Inhale, proud. Exhaling, flipping that toe towards your back corner, straightening your front leg on an inhale, sending your arms slightly down. Then finding that nice exhale and inhale, finding your breath, finding what takes you down all the way to Skandasana. Inhale up, warrior two. Taking just a breath here, just a moment, gazing over your arm. When you're ready, exhale, chaturanga. Three-legged if you can. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg high. Exhale, step it through. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, hold. Inhale, straighten your front leg, flip your palm. Exhale, reverse triangle. Inhale for a moment. Exhaling a bit back. Inhaling all the way, reaching through, and then exhaling triangle. Holding for a moment, inhaling. Exhaling, opening a bit more. And then inhaling all the way back, warrior two. Exhale, hold. Flip your toes to the back corner of your mat. Inhale, straighten your front leg, send your arms overhead. Exhale, bend into your back leg, sending the heel of your left foot into your mat, pressing hard into your mat, allowing for this balance as you Skandasana. Holding for a couple of breaths, testing your strength. And then inhale up, warrior two, replacing the parallelism in your foot. Gazing over your hand, holding for just a couple of breaths. And then when you're ready, on your breath, flip your toe towards the back corner of your mat. Straighten your front leg, reach your arms up. Give in to the bend of your back leg, Skandasana. Ground into your heel in your left foot. Hold for a couple of breaths. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, chaturanga. Three-limbed if you can. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Such beautiful work. Take a couple breaths here in your down dog. Maybe step it out. Maybe inhale to your toes. Exhale, melting your heels down. Inhale, lift your right leg high. Exhale, step it through. Inhale, warrior two. Checking your stance, I got a little off. Exhaling and hold. Inhale, straighten your front leg. Raise your arms overhead. Exhale, sending your back toe towards the corner of your mat. Skandasana. Inhale, star. Come tall. Come proud, reach in every direction. Exhale, wide-legged forward fold. Pigeon toe your feet towards center. Inhale, tall. Exhale, fold. Take a moment in your wide-legged forward fold. You may notice that you're not getting as low as you want to the mat. That you're still drawing. Things are tight here, and that's fine. Focus on drawing your chest towards the mat. Visualizing yourself coming lower and lower and lower. Maybe, finally, allowing the crown of your head to go low. If this feels good, if your flex through your inner leg is not too much, maybe you are able to plant your head on the ground. Maybe you are able to plant your palms on your mat below your legs, where you're in almost one line here with your body. And planting your head, consider putting it on that hard part of your head, right? Where you would headbutt a soccer ball, right? And once you're there, you have this option to take a new inversion besides the wide-legged forward fold, which has its own many various benefits. But if you're feeling a little saucy, if you feel like you have it in you, maybe you go for a tripod, lifting your legs so that your knees rest on your triceps, so that your calves hug close to your thighs, your feet close to your glutes, everything balanced above your head and palms. You can hold this for as long as you like. You could even play with it, testing your balance, testing your legs, wondering where else you can go. Maybe feeling a little shaky. But it's okay. It's your practice. Hold with strength. Push from your mat. Feel as though you can extend your spine even here. And focus on your abs and legs are so important. It's squeezing it all to your midline. And when you're ready, maybe unwinding one leg, maybe the other, coming back to a wide-legged forward fold. Maybe your sweaty forehead sticking to your mat. But that's okay. Once you come back to your wide-legged forward fold, be compassionate for yourself. Take a moment to maybe shorten your stance if necessary, having just experimented with a different inversion. Again, finding a proud chest extension and spine, drawing your chest down and then your head. Taking a few breaths, letting your head hang, especially if you attempted the tripod, giving some extension to your cervical vertebrae, your thoracic spine as well, with just the work of gravity. Maybe playing with variations in your hands, grabbing for opposite sides of your feet. Or perhaps behind you. And when you're ready, ever slowly rising up, finding a flat back, spreading your arms out like an eagle, and then, oof, rising all the way up, sending your toes outside, your heels tucked in, star. Inhale, fill up so much space, and exhale, warrior two, to the back of your mat. Inhale, straighten your front leg, send your toes of your right foot to the right corner of your mat. Exhale, skandasana, grounding your left heel into your mat. Inhale, star. Exhale, skandasana to the other side. Inhale, star. Exhale, one more wide-legged forward fold. Let your head hang. Pigeon toe your toes towards the center of your mat. Taking just one more breath here. Nice deep inhalation, filling up every corner of your lungs. And then exhale, squeeze it all out. Inhale, rise up, flat back, all the way to star, putting your heels towards the center of your mat, sending your toes wide. Exhale, warrior two to the front of your mat. Inhale, hold. Exhale, chaturanga. All the way down. Upward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, gaze forward. And then bring your knees down to a hero's pose. All those wide-legged forward folds seem to have moved my mat a bit. Maybe it's moved yours. There we go. Just a few minutes left. You have an option for your next inversion. We have two kinds that are very popular. One, which is so very good for extending your spine, is the shoulder stand. So you come to your backs on your mats, finding your legs resting over yourself, pivoting around in circles, allowing your hips and back to be massaged into the mat as you rotate your knees around above you. Inhale, sending your legs up a wall, flexing your toes towards your nose. Zipping your thighs, your legs together, engaging all of your abdominals to hold here. And when you're ready, on an inhale, slowly planting your hands, stacking your legs above your torso, placing your hands on your low back for support. Finding your elbows are an amazing set of structures to send your hips over your body. Engaging your glutes, pointing your toes high, extending your neck so you're not choking yourself out. Engaging your abdominals, gazing at your navel, and holding this balance. If this feels good, you have it in your practice, maybe switching to plow pose, letting your feet plant your toes over your head, your hands, palms planting on your mat, or even your knees bending towards your ears. In any case, when you're ready, inhale for strength and exhale, slowly roll it all down to your mat, planting every vertebrae and then planting the soles of your feet. Take a moment, take a stretch. Good morning stretch, letting the back peel off the mat a bit, and then arms by your side. If that's a good inversion for you, maybe that's where you stay. If you want to try a headstand, we can go through exactly how you set that up. Headstand starting a little bit differently. Do a bound headstand to start. It's probably the safest way to start entering headstands after you've practiced tripods. So, for a headstand, considering again blood pressure and the ability to compress the neck, thinking about the health of your spine always. Focusing on balancing on that hard part of your skull where you could knock somebody else, maybe a little headbutt. Okay. You're going to plant your elbows just apart enough that you can still get them with your fingertips, and then bind your fingers on your mat like a cradle for your head. Tucking your head into that cradle, planting the crown of your head, that hard part, into the mat. You want to focus on control. Control. So maybe you just lift one leg a bit, maybe the other a bit. Keeping your elbows in, keeping them planted, focusing on your abs and legs more than you might think, and seeing if you can hold just knees into your chest ever so slightly, like so. Bringing your feet into your body, holding that tucked position. Tucked position says that you have power, you have strength. You can continue in your practice. I had a teacher, one of my favorite instructors, told me, Cindy, you're fearless, but you lack control. I would kick my head or my feet over my head and hope that I wouldn't just roll forward into a headstand when I very first started them. It's important that you have control, that you take it to the level that is safe, and slowly take it there for yourself. There's no need to kick your feet overhead, because that's not control. That's not how you build the strength you need for a headstand. So, another consideration is using a bit of a wall to help you, right? So, elbows at that perfect distance apart, hands cradling head, taking that slow entrance, maybe just ever so slowly, using the closet to help, finding where your balance is, where your center is, bringing your legs together, pointing your toes, engaging everything in your body to stay lifted. And then it's also a slow return back to the ground. So always give yourself the sense of support if you feel you need it. No reason to say, I'm fearless and I'm going to kick my feet over my head today into a somersault. It's your practice. Practice safely. So you've just done some headstands, some inversions. Probably compress that spine a little bit. Let's take a moment to go to our backs. Bringing your hands behind your thighs. Do a little rock and roll. Massaging your spine on your mat. Going from the base of your neck down through your tailbone, balancing on it, rocking up and back until finally you're ready to find a bit of stillness, just resting on your spine, on your back, keeping your knees above your chest. Inhale, exhale, let them fall to the right, gazing over your left arm. Inhale your legs back to center. Exhale them to the left, gazing over your right arm. Letting each exhale deepen your twist. Release your senses to gravity. Inhale your legs back to center. Hug yourself. Bring your forehead to your knees. Squeeze into the tiniest little ball of energy. Such a tight, closed perspective. And then inhale, exhale, release Shavasana. Opening up, extending, taking space. Letting your breath guide you to surrender. Releasing your tongue from the roof of your mouth and stitching that place between your eyebrows. Not worrying where you were today. Not worrying where you'll be. Just being here at peace. And when you're ready, and only when you're ready, or remaining in Shavasana if that is your jam today, rolling on to your right side, sitting up to an easy seat, having some gratitude to yourself for whatever perspective you were able to gain today, for whatever challenges you were able to overcome, for whatever strength you discover. The light in me honors the light in you. We bring our hands to our third eye, bow to seal our practice. Namaste.